The end of the season is right around the corner, which means NFL free agency will be here before you know it. And Joe Schoen, or whoever is going to be the Giants general manager, is going to have to make some big-time decisions on their own free agents like Wan'Dale Robinson, Jermaine Eluemunor, and Cor'Dale Flott, who Jordan Nod of ESPN says are in store for big paydays. We're going to break that down on today's show, but I want you to get down to the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this. If you could only pick one of these players to return to the Giants on a new contract this offseason, who would it be? This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. How much money is Wan'Dale Robinson going to command this offseason? We'll start with that. We'll talk about Eluemunor and then Cor'Dale Flott to close out today's show. But the 24-year-old wide receiver is having his best year in the National Football League, and he is in store to secure his biggest bag yet, and he is going to be one of the higher-priced free agent wide receivers this spring. He's been awesome this year. As more has been added to his plate, the production has followed. So far, in just 13 games played this year, he's got 73 grabs, averaging 11.3 yards per catch, a career high, 63.7 yards per game, a career high, 828 yards this season, a career high, and he has 3 receiving touchdowns, tying a career high. A contract year and his best year in the NFL. Perfect timing for Wan'Dale Robinson. Jordan sat down, or it looks like he had an exclusive interview with Wan'Dale, and he said this about his upcoming free agency and potentially leaving. Quote, "I love New York, and this is the place that drafted me. I feel like I have good chemistry with Jaxson Dart and all of my teammates that I've been here with, and I've spent the last 4 years of my life here. So it's a lot easier said than done just to get up and move and go somewhere else. So I'd like to stay here, but at the end of the day, if it's not the right place, then we'll see what happens." Look, this sounds like a guy that wants to be here if the money is right, and I don't blame him at all for that. At 24 years old, going to be 25 at the end of January, this is the prime of his career, and this is the moment to secure the biggest bag of his NFL career. He should be doing whatever it takes to get that money, and we've seen players like him in situations like this get big money, just like Khalil Shakir did last year, and it sounds like the Robinson team is looking at that. Jordan wrote this, saying Buffalo's Khalil Shakir set the slot receiver market last offseason with a 4-year, $53 million deal that could be worth up to $15 million per season. That's a contract that Robinson and his team have eyed since its signing. Considering Shakir never had a 900-yard season in his career, Robinson should be able to beat that this offseason as the top slot receiver on the market by a wide margin. Wan'Dale is having a better year than Khalil Shakir, but just to kind of make this picture that much more crystal clear, I thought it would be a good exercise, and Wan'Dale, your agent should probably use this as well. Over the last 2 seasons, Wan'Dale has proven that he is just as productive, and some may even say better than Shakir. In 30 games played, Wan'Dale has 166 grabs, 9.2 yards per catch, 50.9 yards per game, 1,500 plus yards, and 6 receiving touchdowns. Shakir in 2 less games has 33 less catches, does have a higher yards per catch, a little bit lower in the yards per game, and Wan'Dale has more receiving yards, with Shakir having slightly more touchdowns. The stats this year, it is very clear that Wan'Dale is being more productive, and I think you can make the case over the last 2 seasons that is the case as well. Spotrac has put out a contract projection. They call it their market value for players, and for Wan'Dale Robinson, they say a 4-year deal worth $59.9 million with an average annual value of just under $15 million is what you can expect Robinson to sign for. That would make him the 27th highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, and I wouldn't be shocked if Wan'Dale was even looking for more money than that. I'll share my opinion on what I think the Giants should do, but I want to hear from you. Would you pay Wan'Dale $15 million per year? Type Y for yes, type N For now, I'll say this on Wan'Dale. He has exceeded my expectations. He has almost punched through the roof of a player that I thought he was. He is far more productive this year than I thought he was going to be. And he is a player that I would like to have on the New York Giants going forward. But I look at it like this. One, there is a price that I feel comfortable paying. $15 million is on the upper side of that. But I do still think he is a limited player, but a very productive player that is only 24 years old and a guy that you used a premium pick on in round 2 that seems like a good culture fit. He is a competitor, and he's a dynamic football player. All the things you want. My question is, and I don't know the answer to this, how replaceable is his production? I went back and I watched every single catch of Wan'Dale Robinson's 2025 season. And look, there were a lot of splash plays. Some of them I was left wondering, first read, you got open within the scheme, and some of that could be replaceable. And you could say that for every single player out there. So I don't want to try to pour water on the fire that is burning of Wan'Dale Robinson's season this year. I just don't know if I'm willing to pay him 16, 17, 18, $19 million per year. I think $15 million is a sweet spot. It's going to be a big payday for him, and he's earned it. Congrats to you, Wan'Dale Robinson. Go secure the bag. Hopefully you're still here with the New York Giants. Let's transition to Germaine Eluemunor, who had some quotes with Jordan Renan of ESPN as well. And if you've been following Germaine on Twitter, you know that he is a guy that always seems to be on top of when right tackles are paid across the National Football League. He knows that he is having a kick-ass season, and he knows that that means he is probably going to be getting a bag this offseason. We'll talk about that around the corner. First, though, I got to give a huge shout-out to Ridge. I just upgraded my wallet to the Ridge 2.0, and you should do the same. Look, the holiday season is here. They've got an awesome deal for everybody watching. So if you're looking to get a wallet or get somebody else a wallet or other awesome items like a keychain, go to ridge.com, use that promo code chat, and you can get up to 47% off your order today. It's made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. This is the best wallet I have ever had, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to go back. It is slim, sleek, lightweight, fits in your pocket. You wouldn't even know it's there. It's got an attachment for an air tag, so if you lose it like I do all the time, it's easy to find, and it can hold up to 12 cards plus some cash. There's also 50 plus colors and styles to choose from. They have wallets that features every NFL, MLB, or college team. It's the perfect gift for the holiday season. Plus, all Ridge wallets have a new industry-leading built-for-life warranty. So even if your wallet's lost or stolen, they've got you covered. For a limited time, Ridge is having their huge holiday sale. Head to ridge.com to get up to 47% off your order. This is by far the biggest discount they've given all year. That's ridge.com for up to 47% off. Use that promo code chat during their biggest sale of the year. After your purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. Please tell them Chat Sports sent you. And again, it's ridge.com/chat. Eluemunor is having his best season in the NFL. When you compare his numbers to where they stack up, this was prior to the bye week. He's at the top of the list, and it seems like every single pass blocking category. His pass block efficiency, the ninth best among all offensive tackles, not just right tackles. His pressures are at the top. And when I say top, I mean the least amount of pressures. He's close to the least amount of hurries and QB hits and sacks. Eluemunor, at the age of 30, knows that this is the time to cash in due to his age and his play. He said this to Jordan of ESPN. It's kind of like uncharted territory for me because I feel like I'm having the best year of my career. I feel like I'm one of the best right tackles right now and will be for the rest of my career. So yeah, I don't know what my range is. Like I said, I feel like I'm one of the best players in my position, so whatever that means. And if you're a top right tackle in the NFL, you're going to get paid the big bucks. And that is what Eluemunor is looking to do. He's looking to put pen to paper to be one of the highest paid right tackles. I think it's very accurate to say that he is a top 10 right tackle this year. And if you want to ding him a little bit for being a little bit weaker production-wise in the run-blocking department to him outside the top 10? Sure. But he's a top 10 pass-blocking right tackle, and you have a top 5 duo with him and Andrew Thomas. You could see Penei Sewell, number 1 in the National Football League at $28 million. Then you have Spencer Brown, number 10 at $18 million. I'm sure Eluemunor wants to be a part of this graphic. And there's 18 right tackles right now that make more than $15 million on average annual value. So I would say you're probably going to end up paying him $15 million. Look, Spotrac thinks that you're going to be able to get him for a discount. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong and they're right. You could bring back Germaine for 2 years and $17.7 million. I think it might be like 3 years at $17.7 million per year. So while they say he's going to get this money, I think this is not even going to be close. You factor in the age, he's peaking at the right time, and he's got the most powerful agent in the National Football League. Someone that just got Micah Parsons a record-setting deal. David Mulugeta, the agent for Germaine Eluemunor, represents some of the highest-paid players in the NFL, like Deshaun Watson. We talked about Micah Parsons, who thanked him on Twitter after he secured him that major deal. Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Jalen Ramsey, Kyle Pitts, Budda Baker, Derwin James, 59 total NFL players for him, and he is the first NFL agent in history to negotiate over $1 billion worth of active player contracts in a single year. They are not going to leave any money on the table. And I feel like the floor for an Eluemunor contract is like 3 years and $50 million total. I think it's going to be north of $15 million per year. And I don't think a discount is coming from Eluemunor. I know he's loud on Twitter about loving and playing for the Giants. He loves this city. He loves this team. He also is going to love being paid at the top of the list of the right tackles in the NFL. That's coming his way. He's going to get a bag, and I could see this even being $20 million per year. It's his time to capitalize on his worth. He's got the most powerful agent in all of the National Football League right now. He's not taking any sort of discount. I'll say that much. So if the Giants want to keep him, Joe Schoen, if you're here, you're going to have to pay him the big bucks. It'll be a big decision that Schoen has to make. We got to talk about Cor'Dale Flott, but I do want to encourage everybody to hit that subscribe button. If you made it this far in the show, that means you at least like what you're watching a little bit, and that means you should help us get to our goal of 99,000 subscribers, 100K right around the corner, but one more milestone to get to. We're 348 subs away. If you love the Giants, you want free videos every day, hit that big red sub button. Cor'Dale Flott, how much money is he going to be worth in 2026 when NFL free agency gets here? Still a young player. He's one of the youngest players drafted in his draft when he was the third-round pick out of LSU. Still just 24 years old. And like Wan'Dale Robinson and like Germaine Eluemunor, it lined up perfectly for him. Contract season, best season in the NFL. He's played in 12 games this year, career high in pass breakups, a career low, a.k.a. a career high in completion percentage allowed, and his quarterback rating when targeted is the best of his NFL career. And you could just see it when you watch games. He's a much confident player. He moves around now. He doesn't just line up on the outside or line up in the slot. Giants had him bouncing around earlier in his career, and now he could do both, but he has established himself as at minimum, a rotational level corner on a good defense. I think he could be a cornerback too, but I like him more as a depth piece. Someone that, compared to the rest of the NFL, is playing like a starter. Coverage grade, 21st. Completion percentage allowed, 18th. NFL passer rating allowed, 15th. His forced incompletion percentage, it's 12. That's the 38th best among all corners that have played in about half the snaps this year, and he's allowed just one touchdown. He has showed that he can play on the big stage and make the big play like he did on Thursday Night Football against the Eagles, where he picked it off, took it to the house, and essentially won the game for the New York Giants in that moment. He's going to make a good amount of money this offseason. How much, I'm not sure. Spotrac says 4 years and about $40 million could be the range that he gets paid. And I think that's likely. The 35th highest paid corner in the NFL. I think if you have Cor'Dale Flott as a CB2, you're confident in him. But if he is your third boundary corner, you're feeling extremely confident about that. You can never have too many corners. And this is someone that you drafted. And in a perfect world, when you're building a football team, you draft players, you develop those players, and then you pay those players. Use a third-round pick on Cor'Dale Flott. Use a second-round pick on Wan'Dale Robinson. And Germaine Eluemunor for Joe Schoen, even though he signed him to play left guard, is actually one of his best moves as a general manager. You would think he'd want to keep him around and keep that really dominant tackle duo that you have right now, protecting your rookie quarterback. But the Giants under Joe Schoen don't always make the logical moves. I'd love to re-sign all three of these players. I know this is like a stupid game and stupid question to ask myself because it would mean that Andrew Thomas isn't that good. But how many players on a team that wins 2 games and 3 games last year do you want to pay big money? I don't know the answer to that. I don't even know if it's a smart question, but it's a thought I have when we do this type of exercise. I don't know. I'll make a claim. I believe one of these players is going to be on a new football team next year, and it might even be 2 players. If I had to set the line, 1.5. Over under. I think 1 could go. I think 2 could go. I think we'll at least keep one of them. I don't know which one it would be. I would like to keep the right tackle to protect the rookie, which would then be a second-year player going forward, the young quarterback. We'll see. The Giants always keep it interesting, and we'll keep you updated every step of the way here on this channel as well as my social media platforms. So give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at @MarshallGreen_.